the years, the district has partnered with many entities, government, private, etc., some of whom you'll hear from today, in recognition of the project that we have at this beautiful site. As you look over this 170-acre nature preserve known as Clam Bayou, today we dedicate the completion of the third and final phase of the restoration of the stormwater projects, as well as the completion of a running trail through Clam Bayou. This restoration and project improves Clam Bayou's ecosystems and treats stormwater runoff among 10 sites and 64 acres. On the district side, this project was managed by our Surface Water Improvement and Management Team, or SWIM program, so we'd like to recognize our staff who participated in that. Brent, you guys always do a great job. Eric, Jeanette. In 1987, the legislature created the SWIM Act, and its purpose was to protect, restore, and maintain Florida's threatened surface water bodies. In the past 25 years, our SWIM program has restored more than 3,000 acres of freshwater, estuarine, and upland habitat. And we couldn't have anything better than that right there. Did you guys plan that? First, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. Mayor Foster was elected in 2009 to lead Florida's fourth most populous city, which is quite a job, I understand. He was first appointed to the City Council in 1998 to fill an expired term, and then was subsequently elected to the City Council in 1999 and again in 2003. He's an attorney with Foster & Foster in St. Petersburg and is a fourth-generation St. Petersburg resident. So, Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to come up.
Well, good morning, and thank you all for being here today. This is God's country out here, and wow, what an incredible sight we have. Before I get too far, I want to recognize former Senator Charlie Justice is here today as well, and he played a role with the state. Thank you, Charlie. You know, and I walked up this morning, I greeted my neighboring mayor, good friend Mike Yakes, and I said, Mayor, I don't know if I'm in Gulfport or St. Petersburg, because all of this abuts each other. And he said, Mayor, it doesn't matter. We don't have any boundaries. And that's the relationship that we have had, that we have with Gulfport, that we have had with our state agencies that have played a tremendous role in this, from FDOT and 3 miles of bike paths and pedestrian paths, to SwiftMud, to DEP, to all of these agencies that group together to transform a very rustic park that had very little amenities for anybody, and we couldn't enjoy this, we couldn't use it, to something that the entire region will be able to enjoy, and the continuity of the bike system and just the flyover that you just saw of this beautiful nature. This is something for generations to come, and I'm glad to see some young people out here today, because they're the primary benefactor of all of these efforts. This is something that started 18 years ago, and it took us 18 years to get to this point, but wow, it was worth every bit of it. So thank you all for being here. I'm excited. Thank you to the staff of the City of St. Petersburg. Parks and Recreation has certainly played a big role. I saw Mike Connors here, Joe Kubicki, and just, so we've had multiple staffs, and Sherry McBee, Phil Whitehouse, and this is something that we are extremely, extremely proud of. So thank you all for being here. We're going to plant a tree, cut a ribbon, and I'll turn it over to the next speaker.
A bayou beyond boundaries, Clam Bayou, home to Michael Yakes and all of our residents in Gulfport that are part of this great project. You know, what really makes this wonderful are the volunteers. We talk of the agencies that step forward and they work with our tax dollars to make such a magnificent project possible. But the volunteers in the beginning of this project need a great applause. I really appreciate you. I'd like to have a round of applause for them. Back in 1987, I was elected to City Council in Gulfport. The time the agency was born. At that time, this bayou was in desperate need of restoration. The project came forward. What I'd like to see us do is form a funding mechanism to keep Clam Bayou beautiful. You know, those people that cause damage to this environment get away with it. They shouldn't get away with it. You know, we need to do something to control it, whether it's litter, whether it's debris, whatever contaminant that goes into that water that's caused by somebody's negligence. Don't you believe you and I need to see them penalized by a fine? Let's take that fine forward and keep what we've got. It was a hard climb, and it did involve all agencies. Through my tenure, I had the honor and privilege to serve with great people. I've served with Mayor Fisher. I've served with Mayor Baker. I've served with Mayor Foster. I've worked with Don Sullivan in the House, Dennis Jones in the Senate, Mike Fasano in the Senate. Those folks have been representing us, and we come to March to take care of what we need to do. Funds are shrinking, but this project is not. It's expanding. You know, I wore my shirt to show you my vision of 2020. You know, we want to take this from the bayou into Bocasaga Bay, because we're not done yet, but what a great beginning. But the part that disappoints me of such a successful project is how and why did we get to this point? Well, it's those people that really are not responsible. They cause the damage to our environment. We fix it, we repair it, we look for the funds, and they put it in and restore this bayou. But with neighbors and us, this bayou beyond boundaries is restored. We're going to have a great time. It borders St. Petersburg Gulfport. Part of that submerged land is in Pinellas County, and part of it belongs to the state. Because why? This land is your land. This land is our land. It belongs to you and I, and let's keep it and get those bad people out of here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if many of you folks know that Al Capone once slept here. It is a fact that Al Capone at one time owned most of Clam Bayou, and that was even before this area had a different name. It was referred to as Bonifacio, which was a fishing town before it was Gulfport. It's also known as Osgood Point, which is where we're at today. The critical point of this project is that when it rains, and we all know what Florida rains are like, there are 3,000 acres of neighborhood sewage and trash that used to flow into this body of water, just dumped into the bayou. I've seen a lot of pictures as I've been out here in the past. It was pretty bad. This project is designed to stop 95% of those pollutants and that trash. The Clam Bayou Ecosystem Restoration Stormwater Treatment Project was completed in 3 separate phases over 17 years. And on the back of your program, there's a list of the many organizations that are involved with this project. Each of those names represent the team members, and I'm honored to be here on behalf of the SwiftMud board members and the members before I was on the board. But this exemplifies a lot of great work done in that partnership. So our swim program, Jeanette Seacrest is here, and the district partnered with all those groups to provide this water quality of the Tampa Bay estuarine system. But I'd like to recognize a couple people, the dedication and hard work of 2 of our project managers, Dr. Brant Henningsen. I saw Brant's here. Oh, there he is. And Janie Hagberg. Janie, thank you as well. They will also be conducting a tram tour following the trail ribbon cutting. This project was implemented through cooperation and financial systems of groups at a lot of different levels, including the federal government. And we suspect that more than 500 volunteers helped plant native trees, shrubs, and grasses. This was a pay-as-you-go project that puts the public money back to the community. So let me emphasize that from our perspective at SwiftMud, these are funds that were not bonded or put into a long-term financial basis. This is pay-as-you-go cash funds, which is what SwiftMud has always been well known to do. That saves the public a lot of money. And we contributed as the district more than $7 million over those 3 phases of the restoration. That includes $899,000 the district secured through a grant from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. But this project is special because not only was the district able to work cooperatively with our partners on the 64-acre treatment project, but we worked with the city of St. Petersburg. We thank the mayor, both mayors here as well, which helped to design and construct the project. So Today, again, I'm honored to be here to represent Swiftfoot and the many members before my term. It's an honor to be here today, and it's an honor to be here for the ribbon cutting and to open this project after so many years. Thank you very much.
What a beautiful morning, what a beautiful scene. And this is what us lifelong Florida residents have come to know and love about the state of Florida. And this is what can be accomplished when you get those partnerships we've talked about. Florida Department of Transportation and Clam Bayou, a phrase you probably would not have heard 20 years ago. But because of the partnerships that we've been able to have and forge with the city of St. Petersburg, the city of Gulfport, Pinellas County, the Pinellas County Metropolitan Planning Organization, all of our partners, we were able to come together and persevere. We talked about 18 years for a project to come together. Went through some challenging times. The old congestion mitigation air quality funds that came from Federal Highway to help fund a piece of this. Going through a part of our economy when we saw escalating prices that had to put this project on hold and split it up into multiple phases. But we persevered with all of our partners. And I am proud here today to stand as a representative of the Florida Department of Transportation and look at this wonderful piece of land and this asset of the state of Florida that we are able to utilize and show the citizens the environment of Florida and the partners that we've had with the Southwest Florida Water Management District as well for something that will live on. And Mayor Yates, I look forward to the day that this goes to Boca Ciega as well. So I'm happy to be here this morning, and thank you.
The government does listen to what you say if you say it long enough and loud enough. I don't know how many people were here in the early 50s and attempted to walk the drainage ditch, which is now tidal pools, manatees, ospreys. This is more than I could ever hope for. And the kids here need to step up and tell their government what they want and how they want it done. Thank you everybody for coming, and keep an interest in this area, keep it clean and healthy, and let the animals live where they need to live. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure y'all are glad that this is done, being the project, that is. We're going to plant a tree in memory of the completion of the process here. Then we're also going to do a ribbon cutting for the trail.
You're shoveling stuff like this every day.
We're celebrating science today along the St. Petersburg USF Bayboro waterfront. We are home to the largest concentration of marine research, technology, and innovation in the southeastern United States. It's the best kept secret in St. Petersburg, and we're here to tell the world about us. Science is important, and that we all benefit from science every day without even knowing it sometimes. Well, the exhibits that we have today, we have over 100 activities for people to participate in, and they're fully engaging, interactive, and so that it stimulates questions from our families and visitors that are here today. So we want people to not be afraid to ask questions. This is an environment where they can feel free and at ease to ask questions, unlike possibly in the formal classroom. So we want them to have one-on-one interactions with our scientists in St. Petersburg, and who knows, maybe some of the questions that they're asking could be a future research project.
We're here at the Fish and Wildlife Research Institute's open house called Marinequest, where we showcase all of the research that we do here in the state of Florida. Here we are demonstrating to the kids and the adults how to rescue sick and injured manatees. We want to put the manatee in the stretcher here. It'll be easier for everybody to lift them up. We demonstrate how to rescue the manatees to bring more awareness to people, because a lot of people don't understand that manatees who get sick and injured might need to be rescued right away. So we try to get out the word. Also, all the research that we do here at the Institute, a lot of people don't realize how much work it is and what exactly we do. So it's good to get it out into the public eye. Manatees are currently endangered. There are a minimum of 5,000 manatees in the state of Florida. Each year, roughly 400 manatees die from various causes, such as boat strikes, entanglements, cold stress, other natural causes. So it's very important that we try to rescue all the ones that are sick and injured to keep the population up.
The St. Pete Science Festival, this is my first time here, and as I understand it's their second year, but events like this are absolutely essential to our community. It gives businesses and the community a chance to come together and talk about all the things that make our society work. And a lot of those things that make our society work are based on science, engineering, and all those fields can come together to show the young students the cool things that you can do as a career, but you have to focus and have that passion for science and math education. So what we're doing today is we're doing the old-fashioned experiment, cornstarch and water. It's a non-Newtonian fluid, a shear thickening non-Newtonian fluid, but a lot of the kids like to call it oobleck. It's actually from a Dr. Seuss book. But what we're showing them is that the properties of matter can be different based on what you do to that matter. And we're trying to show them that these science experiments and the way you investigate the world by hands-on activities can be really fun and engaging.
fantastic throughout the year. The work ethic that they've shown, the professionalism they've shown, and it's all credit to them that we are in this position at this moment in time.